Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I will be explaining about the various file formats. Being a graphic designer, you should know the various types of file formats. I mean to say JPG, PNG, GIF or TIFF, etc. etc. Now every file format is used for some specific purpose. If you are designing a book, it has to be in a PDF format, because this PDF format can be shared over digital media as well as it can be taken a print. If you are creating some icons, so then it can be either in ICO format, or it can be a PNG format, or if it is a photograph, it can be a JPG format, like that. So there are so many file formats. So let us see one by one. The first one is Photoshop file format. Now Photoshop, the native file format for Photoshop is PSD, that is Photoshop document. Now these PSD documents can be can be used to store all the edited or the detailed work, including the layers. I'll explain in the upcoming tutorial about what is a layer, but all the detailed editing work can be stored in PSD file format, and the maximum file size for PSD is 2 GB. If it is beyond 2 GB, you may have to choose some other file formats. Now remember, this PSD file format can be supported only by Photoshop. So once you are done with your editing work, you cannot share that PSD file to others, because they require Photoshop to open that file. So your work has to be converted to some other file formats. For example, it can, if it is an image editing, then it can be in a JPG file format. So almost all the digital devices supports this JPG format, so everybody can open it without having any difficulties. So this is about PSD file format. Now look at the other file format, that is document format, or it is called as PSB. Now if your file is more than 2 GB, then you can go for this format PSB, where it can support maximum of 3 lakh pixels in any dimension. So this is also possible in Photoshop. So if your file size is more than 2 GB, you can save it in PSB. The other file format is TIFF, that is tagged image file format. Now this format is very rarely used. This is because if your file size is beyond 2 GB, you may opt this TIFF file format, and the one speciality of this file format is that it preserves the layer details even if it is saved in TIFF format, and it can store up to 4 GB of data. That means one single TIFF file can be up to 4 GB. So this format is used basically by these flex printers. So you design something in Photoshop or in any other designing application, and you can save all the details in TIFF format and give it to the printers, so that they can take a larger printout, just like hoardings or big film posters, all these things. So maximum size here is 4 GB. So for the large printers, this format is highly useful. The next one is RAW format. Many of you might have heard about RAW. Those who are have some interest in photography, they must be knowing something about RAW format. These cameras, basically they take pictures in RAW format, but ultimately it will be the camera converts to JPG, and so that immediately you can preview it. So RAW format again gives you the option to save files beyond 2 GB, and Photoshop allows you to save your work in RAW file. and this supports CYMK, RGB and grayscale images. Now CYMK means cyan, magenta, yellow and black, a combination of all these four colors, and RGB means red, green and blue. So I'll take up these two later in other tutorial. So it supports CYMK, RGB and other grayscale images as well. Next one is PDF. So very popular file format, everybody must be knowing about this PDF file format. So if you want to preserve fonts, layouts, vector shapes and images accurately to be displayed, then you can use this PDF file format, especially the publishing works. You're designing a magazine cover, newspaper or a newsletter or something like that, or a textbook, so you can save your work in PDF file. So the advantage is you can share it over any through the links. You can send that PDF file, or even you can take a printout. One more advantage of PDF file is that you can apply or establish some hyperlinks or electronic links through which you can directly go to a specified page number. For example, from first page, when you click on some particular word, and then on clicking that word it can go to some other page, or it may also open an external link. So many other possibilities are there in PDF. So this is about PDF file format, that is portable document format. The other one is graphics interchange format, GIF. So GIF is it's a very useful, especially for the softwares where they use small icons, and for web graphics where they create some buttons and some other small GIF animations, all these things. So it compresses the design or the artwork, so that it can drastically reduce the file size, and it has the option to to preserve the alpha channel. That means if it is an icon, you want to see only the design, not the background, whereas in JPG it is not possible. So options are there to maintain that alpha channel or the background transparency. So that is about GIF. And PNG, or portable network graphics. So in Photoshop, PNG is one of the very important file format, because as I told previously, it has the capacity to preserve the alpha channel. That means when you cut the image and you want to delete the unwanted background, and once that is deleted, it maintains or it reserves that background, so that you can put some other background there and you can combine those two pictures. So that is the possibility in PNG files. So the next one is joint photographic experts groups, or what we call it's popularly known as JPEG. This file format is often selected for continuous tone images for HTML documents. Now it's not just for the HTML documents, but today most of the digital devices, or every digital device, supports this JPG. Without having any extra plugin or application, you can open these JPG files. So it supports grayscale, RGB, CYMK color modes. Now when you do some editing work, as I told, it will be saved in some format. For example, if you use Photoshop, it will be saved in PSD file. If you use Illustrator, it will be saved in .ai, that is Adobe Illustrator. If it is CorelDRAW, it will be in .cdr, like that. But to open these files, you should have the same software. But if you give it in JPG format, anybody can open it and see. So that is the capacity of JPG files. So there are many other file formats as well, but I think for a graphic designer these many are very important the formats. So that's for now. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like my videos, please subscribe my channel and support me. Thank you.